Welcome to the Love Deep Lab podcast, helping you integrate sex, sexiness, sacredness, and science in your life and your bedroom. And now, your host, Dr. Stormy.
Hi, I'm your host, Dr. Stormy. Thanks for tuning in today. Well, it's November and we're coming into the Thanksgiving season, and then Christmas and Hanukkah and New Year's and all of the holiday season that can be such a bustle. So I'm so happy you're here today. As we move into the holiday about gratitude and thankfulness, we decided to do a podcast about gratitude. So I'm super excited today to share with you all about gratitude, how it works, the geeky science of it, how it works in our brain, how it will change your life to allow you to have more joy and more pleasure in your life, and some simple ways to practice gratitude during this season and moving forward. So I'm so happy to have you here today. So I love the practice of gratitude. For me personally, it has been a life-changing practice. And I want to tell you, it is a practice. It is not something where you arrive at perfect gratitude, or that, all of us that practice, myself included, practice perfectly every day. Some days I rock it in gratitude. Other days I will forget to be in touch with gratitude or forget to be grateful. But it is a practice, and it is very based in neuroscience, and it is incredibly powerful. So there is no better time for you to start practice of gratitude than November. So happy November to everyone out there listening. So gratitude is different than thankfulness, right? So to be thankful is being thankful is a feeling, whereas being grateful is an action. So thankful is great. It's wonderful to feel grateful, but it's a feeling, and feelings can, wax and wane and come and go and change. But being grateful is an action, it's active. So being grateful has several parts, of which we'll go through in a minute, but that's one of the differences between thankfulness and gratefulness. So there is not one that's better than the other. It's just important to practice both. So gratitude really is the manifestation of love, devotion, and commitment to those who mean the most to us. And so again, it's active, right? It's love, it's devotion, it's commitment, and it's showing them. We're going to talk about the acknowledgement piece of gratitude here in a moment. But you might feel grateful, you might feel appreciative, but part of gratitude is the outward expression of that, is sharing with that person or showing that person the appreciation that you feel for them. And gratitude helps me to be alert to the role of others in my life. And right now, as we're kind of emerging slowly and then going back into this COVID cocoon, our connection to others is so important and really feels sacred. So gratitude is even more of a potent practice as we really get to become deeply aware of the role of others and the role of community and the role of belonging in our life. So let's just start with definition of gratitude. And there's lots of different ones, but some of the ones that I like is a quality of thankfulness, a readiness to show appreciation, and a readiness to return kindness to others. So those are just three that I like. And the benefits of gratitude, we're going to go into the neuroscience in a little bit because as you all know, I love the science piece. But positive psychology world kind of breaks it into the happier you, the fitter you, and the better you. So the happier you is the increasing of positive emotions, the decreasing of anxiety and depression. We're going to talk about the neuroscience of those, just basically overall increased happiness. The fitter you is things like improved sleep and better immune system, improved self-esteem. And then the better you is all the social ramifications of the practice of gratitude. So deeper connections, deeper relationships, more intimacy. And so really, I love to think of it as the happier you, the fitter you, and the better you. I kind of want all three of those. I don't know about you, but I love the practice of gratitude because it works in all three of those areas. And Harvard Health actually talks about that gratitude makes us happier and healthier. So how cool is that? Okay. Another thing is there's a lot of research behind the more we practice gratitude, right? You hear this cliche, the attitude of gratitude, but the more we have an attitude of gratitude, the more we practice and deepen our practice with gratitude, the more joy, the more pleasure, the more bliss we can feel in life. So it's kind of like exercising that pleasure muscle. And I love to talk about being a pleasure pusher, and gratitude is one way that you can increase joy in your life. So let's talk a little bit about the science behind gratitude. The Mindfulness Awareness Research Center out of UCLA, which is awesome. There's like a free newsletter you can get from them. Talks all about, kind of gives you the abstracts of the latest research. But they found that gratitude, a consistent gratitude practice, which we'll talk about kind of a sexy homework, some tips for you to implement or start or deepen your gratitude practice, but actually changes the neural structures of the brain. How cool is that? It changes the neural structures of the brain. So dopamine and serotonin are two of our feel-good hormones. You guys have heard me talk about them in other podcasts. We kind of have this cultural obsession with how we increase dopamine and serotonin. And I'm going to tell you right now, practicing gratitude will increase your dopamine and increase your serotonin. Okay, so those are our feel-good, so two of our feel-good neurotransmitters. So they enhance our mood. That's why how they kind of work on decreasing that anxiety and depression, but also a happier you. And then also, gratitude has been shown in studies to activate certain parts of our limbic system, which is responsible for, our emotions and emotional regulation. So that is another really cool thing about gratitude. So I like to think of gratitude practice in 3 parts, and gratitude itself in 3 parts. So the first part is to recognize the things that you are grateful for. So for me and how I work with my clients, that recognize takes pause. It takes stillness, right? So I could be like blessed with so much gratitude, so many gratitudes and so many amazing things in my life and not take notice. If I'm too busy, if I'm moving too fast, if I don't slow down to take note. So recognizing. So to help you recognize, I recommend pause, whether that's meditation or a few deep breaths, or just taking a moment in your day, at the beginning of the day or the end of your day, to create the space to recognize all the things that you are grateful for, all the things you appreciate, and all the things that you are thankful for in your life. And this can be people, things, animals. It can be anything. But the first step is recognize. The second step is acknowledge. Okay, so for the acknowledgement part is once you've done the pause and either the listing or the holding your space, and we'll talk about some exercises for that in a minute, but is to acknowledge. So I acknowledge inwardly, why do I appreciate those things or that person? What is it about that? Does it make my life easier? Did it make me feel loved? Did I feel seen? Did I feel beautiful? Did it just delight me? So really kind of taking a moment to acknowledge the why you are grateful and thankful for the things or people that you recognize in the first step, okay? And then the third step is appreciate. And this one is my favorite. And I think this one is collectively what we get a little stuck on. I've had clients that I've worked with and also partners in my life who said that they really are grateful for me, but they don't take the last step, which is to appreciate and share that with me. And it doesn't mean that they don't feel it, but that's the beauty. There's this reciprocity of gratitude, gratefulness that is about recognizing, acknowledging, and appreciating. And part of that is having the courage and the vulnerability and the strength to share that with the person that you are grateful for. Okay, so that's a really sweet one. And, I can tell you in relationships, sharing daily appreciations for the little things goes so far to deepen intimacy and to expand your sex life too, because a big part for a lot of female brains is that really feeling appreciated and seen. And it goes for men too. It goes both directions, but really to offer these tokens of appreciation, and that for the person doing the acknowledging, that takes vulnerability and strength and courage. And you got it. I know you can do it. And it will also, so it's for you and the one doing the acknowledging part, it really helps deepen your gratitude practice and bring in more joy and gratitude for you. And then for the person on the receiving end, it's amazing to be on the receiving end of acknowledgement and appreciation and gratitude. So your sexy homework for the week, you got 3 of them, is I want you to list 3 things that you are grateful for. Okay, and really give yourself, write them down, because writing them down kind of brings it to a different part of the brain, but write down 3 things, not people, but things that you are grateful for. Okay, second one, write down 3 people that you are grateful for. And there might be some of you out there struggling to find 3 people right now. Maybe you're feeling isolated still with COVID or just life situation. It can be people, it can be animals, it can be people from your past. It doesn't have to be right now in this moment, but really dig in and list 3 people that you are grateful for and appreciate. And then the third one, tell one of them. Pick one of those people that you just listed and tell them. You can tell them, I recommend in person if you can do so safely. But really, again, with those 3 steps, letting them know specifically that you are grateful for them and why, and what that made you feel like for whatever they did that you're grateful for. And then the 4th step of that is to let them tell you what it was like to be on the receiving end of gratitude and appreciation. What did it feel like for them to hear you share how grateful you are for them? And it's a beautiful exercise to deepen both your practice of gratitude and to really make someone's day. So those are your sexy homework for the week. I really am so grateful for this community and for our Love Deep Collective. And I'm so grateful for so many things in my life, but I wanted just to thank you all and express my gratitude to you all. I wish you a really, really blessed November and beyond. And yeah, please feel free to email me, Stormy at lovedeeplab.com, Instagram, Facebook at lovedeeplab. How's it going? How are these practices going? Do you have any questions about gratitude? I'd love to hear from you. So I'm going to leave you with one of my favorite quotes about gratitude. It's by Melody Beattie, and she says, gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow.